Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our introduction session to COM 3705 for semester 2 of 2026. I don't know whether I can see everyone that's joined the session, but it seems that some of my colleagues are present. I am going to move over on my side to the slide presentation. But just before I do that, can someone just raise their hand to say that they are hearing me? Okay, great. Thank you very much. You can unraise your hands again. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'll be going over to my slideshow presentation now. During that time, unfortunately, I won't be able to see any hands raised, but this is really just an introductory session. I'm just going to go through how we are structuring the module, a brief overview of the assignments and mostly administrative issues. And then if there are any questions, I will take those afterwards. So yes, welcome to today. I'm going to just, let me do this. Okay, welcome everyone. Once I have completed the session, I will also have our team members just quickly say hi to you. But yes, I am Martina van der Walt-Ehlers. I'm the module coordinator for COM 3705, and I have 3 team members, Mr. Zunisani Ntambeni, Ms. Kulani Mashele, and Ms. Nomagugu Shloma. So we are there to support you over the course of the next several weeks of semester 2. We are there for you should you have any questions regarding the content of your assignments, if anything is unclear. So your first port of call, always write an email to us and we will get back to you within the allotted time. So for COM 3705, you should know by now that there are several resources that you need to consult. The first is Tutorial 101. There we just have a lot of information, not necessarily regarding the module itself, but how you should conduct yourself as a student, what there is available for you to assist you during the course of your studies, all the important contact points, not just for us as your lecturers for this module, but for the greater department as well, the library information. So anything that you might wonder about in terms of the administration of the module, you can find in your tutorial letter 101. Then you don't have a prescribed textbook for this module. We are increasingly moving away from that. For COM 3705, you have a study guide, tutorial letter 501. The 101 and the 501 should be under your, should be on my UNISA, but I've also uploaded them under additional resources on my UNISA because there's been some issues we've picked up with the tutorial letters not being under the prescribed materials. So you can also find them under your additional resources tab on my UNISA. Under that additional resources tab, I will also be uploading all the additional readings you might require for your 3 assessments. You will see that the 4 readings for assignment 1 is already uploaded under additional resources. There will be additional readings for assignment 2, the MCQ assignment, and there will be prescribed readings for assignment 3, which is your exam portfolio. And you will be able to find them under additional resources, the tab on your COM 3705 My UNISA site. What is important is that we also want you to be able to find these readings on the library website itself. I know that there are some modules who actually do not upload these prescribed readings because we want to empower you to use the library website. So if you are struggling, if there's some access issues with MyUnisa, you can always access the library website and find those prescribed articles there as well. Okay, so let's then move on to our schedule for this semester. Assignment 1 is due on the 24th of August. There is a possibility that that due date might move out. I am awaiting approval. I have requested an extension, but I'm not mentioning that date yet because I am still awaiting a formal letter to confirm the extension. But at the moment, then it stays as the 24th of August at 9 p.m. That assignment is already open and the brief is already available. Then assignment 2 is your MCQ assignment. That will be due on the 11th of September, and I will be elaborating more on all of these assessments in this session. Please look at those times. That is the latest for you to complete it. So nothing after 9 p.m. for assignment 1, nothing after 8 a.m. For assignment 2. And assignment 2 will open on the 28th of August. Assignment 2 also very important. And as I said, I will work through these now in this session, but I'm mentioning it now already. It is a timed MCQ assessment. You will only have 180 minutes. So from the moment you open that assessment, a countdown will start and you will have 180 minutes to complete it. So you will need to know where to find the relevant information. You will have had to work through the relevant study units. Yes, the MCQ is obviously an open book, but you need to be able to know where to go find the answers. And then your exam portfolio is due on the 30th of October, and it'll open on the 1st of October. And once again, that deadline is set for 9 p.m. We will be teaching several live online classes like this one over the course of this semester. The live classes will primarily be preparation classes focusing specifically on your assessment. So your first, and this will also be featured now in a later slide, but next week, the 13th of August, you will already have your first preparation class for assignment 1. And in those classes, what I do is I work through the assignment brief in depth, but then it's also an opportunity for you to come and ask questions about the content that you might not understand. So the session will sort of be split in two. It will be me working through the assignment brief, and then I will allow half of that session for questions and answers. There will be more than one session because I know that sometimes students are not able to make it. And while we are recording these sessions, I want to give as many opportunities for students to be able to interact live with us. So there will be at least 2 sessions for assignment 1 and 3 sessions for the exam portfolio. I want to put up a poll actually and see what works best for you in terms of time frame. This is sort of over lunchtime, what we are doing today, but I've seen in the past that I get a lot more students to attend when I host it after hours, so after work. So I will put up a poll and to just ask you what you might prefer, especially for the exam portfolio sessions. If it means that 1 night or 3 nights for the 3 sessions, I need to be behind my computer outside of office hours. That is completely fine as long as we can accommodate as many of you as possible. We will also have several pre-recorded online classes. There will be a pre-recorded class for every study unit. The study units that, and you will see on your, and we will actually look at this now, but there are certain study units that are linked to certain assignments. And that also means that those particular recorded classes that focus on a study unit will also then focus on how that study unit relates to the assignment. So it's not just me reading through the study guide. It'll be the focus will very much be on what is important for you to know in every study unit as it relates to the assessment brief. So the structure of your module, and I'm sure most of you have worked through or at least paged through electronically your tutorial letter 501, the study guide. So there are 8 learning units. We are covering 7 of them in your assessments. We have learning unit 1, which is an introductory learning unit, and it looks at specifically the concept of the information society, and it looks at particularly at sort of theories related to international communication. Learning unit 2 links to that because it looks at international communication scholarship and at the concepts of agency, continuity, and discontinuity. Learning unit 3 looks at international communication media. This is where we look at film, at television, at radio. And then learning unit 4 looks at the international flow of news specifically. Learning unit 5 looks at international marketing. Learning unit 6 at social networks, political globalization and connections. Once again, looks at the network society, which in a sense is can be used interchangeably with the idea of the information society, and then also looks at digital divide issues. Finally, learning unit 7 is then transnational issues. Learning unit 8 is a revision learning unit, which unless you have all the time on your hands, you will not necessarily get time to work through in the study guide. The structure of the assignments for semester 2. Assignment 1 covers study units 4 and 7. Lecture videos for those 2 learning units will be up on from Monday. So next week, over the course of next week, we will upload the specific online lecture videos. So they will be pre-recorded that deals with study unit 4 and study unit 7. Then for your assignment, for assignment 2, the MCQ, it will deal with the topics of learning units 1 and 5, and it will also draw from prescribed readings, additional prescribed readings that focus on similar topics. And then assignment 3 will deal with study units 2, 3, and 6. So you will be covering, you won't ever be covering the whole of the content in a single assessment. That makes it easier for you in terms of just the general scope of the assessments, and so that you can focus your attention on specific learning units as you work through the assessments for this semester. So let's now turn our attention to My UNISA. Your announcements it's the most important port of call. Here we will be posting, if there is any information about extensions, for example, this is where you'll find it. Any announcements regarding when live lectures are taking place, this is where you will find it. We as the department host several interesting departmental research seminars. We have interactive sessions with students where they can speak to people in the industry. So all of these things will be shared with you via announcements. So it is very important that you access that. Then My UNISA obviously also has your study material, all your additional readings. I will open the discussion forums, and this is where mostly you can engage with your fellow students. Us as lecture teams, as the lecture team, we are at this particular point in time at UNISA quite overwhelmed in terms of just workload. So we might not be engaging with you on discussion forums. So the discussion forum is really where you can speak to your fellow students. It's always very nice to actually bounce some ideas off your fellow students if you are unsure about anything. I will not be opening a WhatsApp group, and this is just due to, once again, administrative challenges that deals particularly with the POPI Act. So we can technically not have a WhatsApp group where you can see each other's details, for example. And then please use and access My UNISA constantly and consistently. You will receive via your UNISA email, for example, you will receive a notification when we post an announcement. So also access your UNISA email consistently. Please remember, if you communicate with us, your lecture team, do it via email. Do not do it via the, and now the word is escaping me, and I can't open my MyUnisa now, but there is a little sort of app that you can use to speak on MyUnisa. We don't access that. We want you to, and we also need records of interaction. So please contact us via email, and always remember, we are not actually allowed to reply if you are sending us emails from Gmail, etc. You need to use your MyUnisa email address to communicate with us at UNISA. Moodle help files, these are available on MyUnisa. By now, you should know that Moodle is our learning management system. So MyUnisa is housed on Moodle, and this is the system that we use for online teaching and for learning. So if you struggle with the MyUnisa website, you are struggling with Moodle. So there are several Moodle help files that you can find on MyUnisa, that you can access, that you can read, and that you can use to familiarize yourself with the platform, for any of the tools that are available to you, how to navigate it. All your assignment and assessment submissions take place online. We are not allowed to accept any emailed assessments. We cannot mark them. They have to be registered via MyUnisa, so on the online system. So that is why you need to understand how the learning management system works. You need to understand how to upload your assignments. Your quiz, your MCQ can also only be answered online. So let's just then some general tips for assignment 1. Please don't wait until the last minute to start, first of all. And also don't wait until the last minute to submit. We have seen several students struggling with submission a minute before the cut-off time because they waited until the last minute. So try and submit timeously so that you don't have any issues with the system. We don't allow any late assignments. The system is programmed with opening and closing dates. I cannot grant you an extension. I cannot go onto the system and change the date. That is why I mentioned at the beginning, I have now requested a possible extension for this assignment. I am waiting for several signatures, and then only can it go to the assignment section, and then they must effect the change online. I can unfortunately not do it. As I've mentioned already, you need to submit online. We cannot allow emailed assignments that are deleted from our inboxes. It has to happen through the system. So follow the system prompts when you submit your assignment. So you will go to the Add Submission button to submit. You must click the submission button for your confirmation, because your assignment can otherwise remain in draft form and then we cannot mark it. So please double check that it is submitted and not in draft or in draft form. I always tell students this: please keep screenshots of your submission, which will serve as a backup, and it will show the date and the time. There are students who take chances and they say, we tried to do this, we did it. Why is it not? Why can't you find it? Why was mine not marked? It is on the system. Please take a screenshot when you submit as proof of submission. And then once the submission is completed, there aren't any resubmissions. So make sure, and I think this is on the next slide, if you incorrectly uploaded an assignment for COM 3704, if you by accident uploaded a blank file, we are not allowed to then write to you and say, hi, listen, sorry, this came up. We are dealing with obviously a large number of students and a lot of marking. There isn't that opportunity for us to get in contact with you. Therefore, it is your prerogative to ensure that you are uploading the correct documents. Also, make sure that they are not corrupt, that they're not read-only, and that they're not password protected. Please use the mark allocated per question as a guide for how much to write per question. And we will obviously I will go into this in much more detail when we have our first prep class for assignment 1. But this is something that I just want to alert you to already at this point. That is something that a lot of students ask me about. I am not strict about going over a certain number of words for an assignment. I would rather that you have enough information than too little information. But keep the mark allocation in mind. And then when we are requesting you for examples, use your own unique examples. We will talk about plagiarism. We will talk about AI. We will talk about hallucinated sources at length at a later point. But we want your own work based on your own understanding of the content that we have provided you. Assignment 2 is your MCQ assignment. So you will select the correct options per question. You will submit on or before the due date. There are no extensions for an MCQ, no resubmissions. You will have 1 attempt per quiz, 1 attempt per question. All the assignment instructions will be uploaded to the assignment 2 folder, but then please note, this is a timed MCQ. So you will have 180 minutes to complete the quiz. Keep that in mind. Once you open that quiz, the timer starts and the countdown starts, and you will have that 180 minutes to complete the MCQ. Finally, assignment 3 is your exam portfolio. So we will have at least 3 pre-recorded, we will have pre-recorded classes on the content, so study units 2, 3, and 6, as I've mentioned, and then we will have live Q&A preparation classes. Once again, I will first work through the brief in detail with you, telling you what to concentrate on, some pitfalls, etc., and then we will give you the opportunity for a question and answer session. But remember, because this is an exam portfolio, there is no supplementary opportunity. So if you fail, you will not be able to get a supplementary just for the exam next semester, so semester 1 of 2027. So that is very important that you do well in assignment 1, in assignment 2, and in this, your exam portfolio. We are phasing out our current degree, and we are phasing out the modules associated with the current degree. As far as I know, next year will be the final year in which COM 3705 will be taught. So that is also very important to keep in mind, and why it is very important for you to pass the module and to do as well as you possibly can. Then I'm mentioning this, but I'm sure that most of you have completed this by now. The compulsory academic integrity course. This is to teach students to work honestly and to work with integrity. We are really facing so many challenges with the rise of AI tools and ghostwriting services. It's not just an issue for us as lecturers, it is an issue for you as students. Students do not realize how they are really doing themselves a disservice by using generative AI in an unethical manner. And there will be a separate session on the ethical use of generative AI. But I always tell students, you need to feel okay when you submit something. You should feel like this was my own work. I have put in the time. And I realize we are all under a lot of pressure, whether it is us as the academic team, whether it is you as students. Most of you, I assume, are most likely working full-time as well. There is a time and a place for using generative AI. You can see from my slides that I've used here that I have incorporated the use of generative AI to assist me in creating aesthetically pleasing slides. The content is my work, and that should be something that you can say as well. You should, at the end of the day, say that I am a student that have used and that have acted with academic integrity. I was honest. So This compulsory academic integrity course deals, for example, with issues around AI, with issues around plagiarism. Course is compulsory for all registered under and postgraduate students, and it introduces knowledge and skills to complete your studies ethically and responsibly. So yes, you will learn practical approaches to academic writing, strategies to avoid plagiarism, guidelines for ethical AI use. The MOOC can be accessed via MyUNISA. There are several little study units that you need to complete. Most of you would have completed the course last year. You do not need to complete it again. But if you haven't completed it yet, please make sure that you complete the MOOC. At this moment, though, for those of you who have completed it, there is no refresher course available yet. So if you've completed this academic integrity course, you don't need to worry about it anymore. Then just finally, our next live class will be on Thursday, the 13th of August at 16:30. So it's a late afternoon class, and it will be our first assignment 1 preparation class. Please do come armed with questions that you might already have. It is an opportunity for you to to pick my brain, to get answers to anything that you might not be sure of. I will post the link for that on MyUNISA on Monday, but you can just, in the meantime, keep that date in mind. I want to thank you now for joining me, the members of our teaching team. We appreciate your time. I'm going to give you the opportunity now. If you should have questions, I'm going to just stop sharing my screen so I can see all the faces. It is lovely to see so many of you that have joined. I want to actually just take this opportunity to ask 2 of my fellow Com3705 of my 2 team members. 2 of them have joined today. Unfortunately, Kulani is unable to join today because she is, let me just quickly check. Yes, she is on leave. But Zuni, can we start with you? Would you mind you don't need to share your screen if you're not camera ready, but just switch on your mic, and if you can just quickly introduce yourself. It's really just for the students to hear your voice.
Yes, Inhlekani, vito ra mina hi mina Dzunisani Ntimbani, hi mina un'wana wa valeteri wa module wa COM 3705. In English, my name is Dzunisani Ntimbani, and I'm happy to be meeting you guys. And I hope I'll be assisting you to complete this module. As my colleague has said, that this module is part of the modules that we are phasing out. So it is important for you to work very hard with us to pass this module, because we don't want you to experience a situation where the module is phased out and you haven't completed this module. So we are here to assist you, and you can contact me or our colleagues if you need any assistance. Thank you. Zakens.
Thank you so much, Zuni. And I'm going to hand it over then now to Ms. Shloma.
Thank you, Martin. Hello or good afternoon to everyone. I am Noma Kukuhloma, Noma Kukuhloma, Ngikhuluma isiZulu-ke, Zulu bhuti ekhuluma isiTsonga. And I'm part of the teaching team. I'm really happy to be part of this module. And just to reaffirm what the colleagues have said, we are really here to help you, and we are available if you may need any information or assistance from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, team. So students, at this time, do you have any questions? Lukolo, please, you can unmute your mic and go ahead.
Good afternoon to the teaching staff at large. I just wanted to know on the communication about emailing the teachers, is it possible for us to text on the Moodle app platform?
That's the one that I know that most of the modules actually ask students to not use the Moodle app, because we are not constantly accessing that. Whereas our email, I don't know for the rest of my teaching team, but my email, and it's probably not the best for mental health, etc. But my email is on my phone, for example. So when I get an email, I immediately see it. I might not reply at 9 in the evening, but there's a good chance I will because I have problems. But yes, we actually really would prefer you just emailing us.
Oh, okay, thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Is there anyone else that might have a question at this moment? You are more than welcome to type it here in the chat. I don't think actually that anything was very it's a bit of a latecomer. I don't think anything is too unclear at this moment. It is very much just administrative, what we have discussed now. Connie, we are actually, and Karabo, we are actually ending off our session now. So I have recorded it and I will post it on my UNISA for those who have joined a bit late. It was an introductory session. The prescribed readings, they're available. It's only for this particular assignment. It's 4 articles. The majority of them should be available. Yes, they are available via the library website. So there is no physical copies that you can go get from the library. They are all online journal articles. So you are able to get them from Mongezi from the library website. But as I've mentioned, they are already uploaded under the additional resources tab on my UNISA. Furthermore, we will also, and I just forgot to mention that, I know once again, I am very much aware of everyone's workload, etc. There will sometimes be some additional videos to watch, just for interest's sake. So I have found, for example, several very interesting TED Talks that relate to diplomacy and international diplomacy in particular. So I will be sharing those. If you have time, please have a look at those. You can watch them, I don't know, maybe when anyone has time to do anything. I will sometimes just watch them while I'm at the gym. But if you have some extra time, you can work through those. I will start posting them next week. I don't want to overload you with information and content in this first week. But yes, thank you so much. It was actually a very good turnout for an online lesson over lunchtime. We are excited to work with you through the course of this semester. The assessments are interesting. The assessments are relevant to what is happening in international communication. You will see that we take pride in being as relevant and as contextual as we can. So we do hope that you also enjoy completing those assessments. Please then keep a lookout on announcements for when announcements on our next live sessions. Visit your MyUNISA site regularly so that you can see all the pre-recorded lessons, etc. As they are recorded, they will be uploaded. And then you can watch them, you can download them. They're all on YouTube as well. So then you can access those. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. And then hopefully I will see all of you next week, Thursday, the 13th of August at 4:30 for our next live class. Have a lovely Thursday afternoon. Have a lovely long weekend. Remember, for many of you, it should be a public holiday. Unless you are not one of the unfortunate people who have to work on a public holiday. So please enjoy that. Have a lovely Women's Day as well. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.